What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at DataDash, and today is January 2nd of 2018. Well, folks, today it's time for a daily update here on the DataDash channel, and today we have a few big headlines to go through. First and foremost, taking a look back at 2017, ICOs raised a whopping $4 billion, outpacing early stage VC funding. Is the number set to go higher in 2018? We'll talk about that later. And along with that as well, South Korea finally starting to form a date on when they're going to be setting in the restrictions on anonymous accounts and establishing enforcement of KYC, or Know Your Customer. We'll talk about that later on in the video. But first and foremost, we've got to take a look here at the market in the sense of valuations and price action, because there has been an absolute run up over the past few hours, and the optimism has led markets to making all-time highs. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video. So as we can take a look here, down coin market cap, I mean, you can just generally see the optimism in the market. But if we take it here to the 24-hour gains, we can see a lot of large players in the space doing well. Tron, a multi-billion-dollar currency, going up 67% over the past few hours. Icon still killing it again. This is one of the ones I'm currently watching, not only watching, but holding as a long-term position, guys. And I could see this easily going to $10 to $15 and becoming a top 10 cryptocurrency over the next few weeks into 2018. And along with that as well, we have Stellar continuing to kill it, up to $10 billion in valuation, making it the 9th largest cryptocurrency. Rayblox continued to do well, peaked out at $5 billion in valuation, had a nice little pullback, but is still holding strong over the past 24 hours. And as we just go down the list, Golem, almost $1 billion currency, Status and Neo killing it. Again, Neo is one of our watch list items for the month, and it's been performing spectacularly over the past few days and is going towards our target of $100. So this is really good stuff, guys. Again, you can just scroll through and the market has just been optimistic. There's rarely anything in the red down here. So I mean, it's just been absolutely optimistic. Now, if we take a look here at overall valuations, we've pierced through the resistance at $650 billion, and now we're set towards making all-time highs in the market, around $656 billion in valuation. So again, I don't think we're entering any kind of bear market yet. We're still on the train towards the upside, guys. Institutional interest wants to get involved in regards to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and I think that is a big reason why we've seen altcoins continuing to kill it. This rally has been technically fueled by altcoins. Bitcoin is still holding strong and resilient above the 50-day moving average on all exchanges. However, this rally without a doubt has been due to altcoins, and we can see that in the dominance. Bitcoin making all-time lows in regards to its dominance, down at 35.92% from its previous low at 37.39% back here in June. So we can feel the altcoin rush coming in, and we're looking like we're on our way to our target at 25%. We gained another percentage over the past day when we talked about this in regards to altcoins continuing to grow in regards to their market dominance, and I think that it's going to go all the way up in regards to the other coins at 25%. And that could also mean that these market leaders as well do well comparative to Bitcoin. But again, I think Bitcoin's going to come down to the low 30% range, and then you'll see some resilience. You'll see Bitcoin curve up, and I think we could see a nice bull run in Bitcoin. But for now, altcoins are still champions right now. So let's go ahead here, take a look at Bitcoin and the market leaders. We can see Bitcoin still holding well here, making the 6th contact with the 50-day. So it's showing really nice price strength confirmation. It looks like it doesn't want to sell off much, and in fact might want to curve up. And if you all might have seen, I did my recent Bitcoin is the correction over video, and we had the two different scenarios where Bitcoin could either hold here along the 50-day and curve upwards, or if we're going to have the correction downwards towards the $10,000 range. I personally believe, as much as I would like a correction down to 10K and more exuberance into altcoins, it looks like Bitcoin is going to hold here. We just have to see over the next day or two if we get a nice breakout day. And if we get that, it can really mean resurgence back into Bitcoin. Along with that as well, we have Ethereum making all-time highs today in regards to its USD valuation, but still killing it in regards to its Bitcoin valuation over the past few weeks. I think Ethereum now has touched over $900, so this is great for those who have been long Ethereum, and definitely good for those who have been trying to beat out Bitcoin comparatively over the past few weeks, because Ethereum definitely, ever since its cycle back in June, had been on the bearish side comparative to Bitcoin, but it's doing nice. It's over that 200-day. Now what we're looking for is to hopefully see it come down, get support on there, and rally up higher for those who are optimistic on Ethereum. All right, let's take a look here at Ripple. Ripple, again, as you all know, has been killing it. It's still holding around its level up here around 15,000 Satoshis. Again, still not feeling any better or worse for it. We're not getting the flag like we used to. We're not getting really the healthy correction we need. This makes me a little bit worried and seems like it's almost getting resistance at 16,000 Satoshis. Again, though, guys, it's more than anything just not something I want to morally invest in, and also I just genuinely don't want to buy at these highs. It's just too much risk. So not feeling optimistic on Ripple there. All right, Bitcoin Cash. Actually, let me get it on an exchange here. We can get the actual price action. If we take it here to Bitfinex, we can see that Bitcoin Cash has almost had a nice little flagging position here and has gotten a little bit of a pop-up here. I don't know if we're going to see any, general movement to the upside, but you at least could possibly play a trade here towards 25 million Satoshis. Looks like it could be edging towards that, seeing as we're getting a little bit of volume picking up here early on in the day. And it definitely was a decline in volume and a decline in the selling ever since we had the big volume breakout. So who knows? We might be able to see a little bit of push up to the upside, but I don't see too much going past 25 million Satoshis unless we can get a clear close above it. Alrighty. And along with that as well, Litecoin. Let's go ahead and take a look at Litecoin here. Litecoin finding support at 16 million Satoshis as it did in the past year. Again, still playing at very high levels here. I think you've got better players in the market to look at. However, Litecoin has always been a steady holding, so I don't want to downplay it. Let's take a look here at ADA BTC. Taking a look at Cardano. Again, Cardano quite overextended in this market, guys. It's had a very, very nice run up. Nonetheless, is definitely on the higher end of things. So it's escaped the 50-day moving average. And man, ever since this has really come out, there's just not been a period of cool down. So congrats to those who have been long on ADA, but I'm definitely not adding to my positions up here. A few other players in the market that are a little bit cheaper. IOTA BTC. This is an important one to look at here. Again, trying to test and see if it can get above this wedge here. I'm confident it can. We had the breakout yesterday. I'm glad we spotted it pretty early on because it seems like the volume did come in and this started to move upwards. And really test to see if it can get above here. We're really going to have to wait and see a close above the candle. And if we can get that, that can mean IOTA could really grab back some of its dominance in the market and get back above, somewhere above the 350,000 to 400,000 Satoshi range. So now that we've taken a look at the market leaders, guys, I want to spend some extra time to look at price action here. I mean, there is just some absolute killers in this market. NEO, for example, it's one of our top 3 coins of the month for January, and NEO has been absolutely killing it, not only through December, but a strong jump into January as well. As we just go down the list here, Sub, for example, another watch list item. If it does close up here, will be all-time highs for closing on Sub. Again, guys, I see this doing really well going into 2018. It's one of my top picks and top long-term holdings. I think easily over the next few weeks, you could see this go anywhere above 10,000 Satoshis. Again, holding it long-term, really seeing good things for this. Vertcoin as well. Vertcoin has not been seeing too much love during this whole altcoin rally. I think Vertcoin has been holding well along the 100-day moving average and is looking to hopefully close above the 50-day. And if it can do that and get above this resistance at 60,000 Satoshis, you can see this revisit the range up here. Icon as well, another pick of ours, doing fantastic. Hopefully looking for this to close above here and then get a continued rally. Again, like I said, guys, earlier on in the video, anywhere from $10 to $15 for Icon. This one is definitely an undervalued project, seeing as it's in South Korea, and they've got a lot of support and adoption. And you just get on the list here, guys. Dash, Monero, everything's just really killing it in this market. So, again, like I said, to be a little bit cautious as well, and also Zcoin as well, doing pretty good. But to go back here to Bitcoin, again, we've got to remain cautious here. I don't know if we're going to be getting the pullback to 10K now. If we do get a close below the 50-day, even though we've had a lot of resilience in the price, that would be a cause for concern for Bitcoin for at least the short term, and more optimism for altcoins. But it's looking like Bitcoin wants to hold here and eventually move up over the next few days and start curving up in price action. That's my personal take on it. However, nonetheless, I mean, if you've been in altcoins, guys, there's no reason to complain if we get one down day or something. We've just been absolutely killing it in altcoins. It's been fantastic. So speaking about the exuberance in cryptocurrencies, ICOs raised a total of $4 billion in 2017. The question is, what does 2018 have in store? So as I stated before, ICOs outpaced early stage VC funding, And I can tell you all from the time that I spent out in Silicon Valley, from the people that I met, and the places that I went to and everything, I can tell you all the excitement for cryptocurrencies is alive and well, both in the tech world and both in the finance world. ICOs have become the new investment vehicle. I talked to people out there who were going out of their way to leave original venture capital funds and go create ICO funds, and they would just get pools of capital coming in to invest in these new startups, these new crypto-based startups. So it's really amazing stuff. The question that I really have here as to whether or not ICOs are going to expand is whether or not we're going to get more quality projects. And I'm really confident that we are over the next year. The reason being is that, over the past year, I let you all know this and stuff. I get contacted all the time to do ICO coverage from a variety of different ICOs. And a lot of them are just crappy. And I don't feel like, first and foremost, I don't like to do that kind of stuff. But along with that as well, there's just so many crappy projects out there. And that's really what I saw going over the early part of the summer. But I've started to see during this altcoin rally that a lot of the projects that are coming out through ICOs and through the ones that are actually gaining in the market are actually quality projects. So I think that's a trend we're going to see in 2018, is that we're going to see people continue to step towards ICOs, and we're going to continue to see more optimism in the space. But at the same time, it's going to be projects that are serious, and I think it's not going to be as frequent in regards to ICOs. We're going to see bigger projects come up that actually raise a decent amount of capital and actually deliver on something of value. So again, ICOs are a risky space. A lot of them will fail, much like startups do. But again, you're going to have a few of them really come out and do some really good things for the world and for the cryptocurrency space. It's just about doing the research to find those and not just chase how much raised a ton of money, okay? So again, look for the projects that are really proposing something big and tackling big industries with blockchain and other decentralized technologies. Next up, I want to talk about South Korea supposedly setting a date for the anonymous crypto ban. As many of you know, we talked about this in one of my past daily updates, but the big reason why there's been a lot of money coming in through South Korea, at least in my mind, and what many people believe as well, is because in South Korea, in regards to opening exchange accounts on BitThumb and a lot of other South Korean exchanges, there has been the feature of being able to set up anonymous accounts in South Korea. There's a basic feature where you can have an anonymous, I think from my understanding, anonymous bank account where there's no identity tied to it. You can put capital into it, and you can, in the case of cryptos, really go about creating an account and investing money. And because of that, there was a big problem. A lot of Chinese investors and Chinese whales were laundering money over into South Korean markets. And a lot of people think this is why the volume is so big in these markets, that they're moving over from China after all the regulation and all the standoff on ICOs and investments on exchanges. So a lot of people are thinking that South Korea has been treated as a safe haven. So because of that, South Korean regulation has been stepping in, and they're expected, supposedly, from this, supposedly the source that they're getting from anonymous sources on Yonhap News, that it's supposedly going to be on January 2nd. Now, keep in mind, that date is coming from anonymous sources. The headlines can be quite misleading, so I want you all to keep in mind that that's an anonymous source. However, I wouldn't be surprised. It's early January. They've been talking about this. It's not too hard to kind of get things formulated, enforced, and established. And basically, this is just going to keep people from making anonymous accounts to invest in crypto exchanges. You just have to have KYC requirements, but much like here in the United States, it's pretty standard. And I think that's understandable in order to fight money laundering, okay? So this is, again, kind of expected, nothing too shocking, and whether or not it comes on January 20th or, in February, it's going to be coming relatively soon. Now, is this going to be a burden for crypto markets? No, I don't really see it being a burden because there's international adoption, and again, much like how we saw in China with the government shutting down on cryptos, not only will that probably come back later on, but it's not going to stop people from wanting to buy them, and we're seeing the resurgence come up in Japan and South Korea. So again, on the eastern part of the world where there's a lot of capital and volume, if one nation goes down, that capital moves to another nation. It's clear. And we're seeing that exactly in regards to what happened in South Korea. So again, I have absolutely optimistic feelings going into 2018, guys. Everything seems so good right now. However, at the same time, we should remain skeptical. We should be looking out for signs that the market shows any sign of weakness. But right now, general gist is that altcoins and ICOs and a lot of other competing projects are gaining traction. Bitcoin is holding strong around the $13,000 range. And Seeing as we have Bitcoin on this pullback here, I think we're going to see Bitcoin start to curve up. Altcoins either hold strong or maybe see a little bit of correction, but nonetheless, crypto markets are making all-time highs and things are still continuing to go good in 2018. All right, everyone, I'd like to hear, though, what you all think down in the comments down below. Do you think that the South Korean regulation on KYC is going to have any implementations on markets? Do you think ICOs are going to continue to raise more money? And do you have any cryptocurrencies that you're currently watching in the market? I'd like to hear down in the comments down below and get a discussion going. Anyways, everyone, that's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Stay tuned.